this is what's causing most of the problem.
Call the meeting to order, John.
I'll call the meeting to order. What time is this?
5:21.
5:21. All right. And we have a declaration of absence for voting for Park and Rec. Matt.
So I, Matthew Bussey, am abstaining from voting on this subcommittee today.
Public comment. Well, we'll talk about it, and there's nobody here to talk about it. So that's fine. Discussion of possible actions and next steps. So we'll go through everything first, what's wrong, and then we'll discuss that later down in the shed where it's going to be drier, okay? So as you can see from here, be careful, don't go too close to the road. There's a lot of wash off. All the way, there's like 300 feet up there, comes right down, starts up there at the top, goes over into that area, and then in here, and then goes right into this bad area right here. So Eddie dug out this whole thing 4 years ago? 4 years ago?
Last year.
Yeah, last year. So to try and divert the water back, and unfortunately that didn't work, as you can see.
There is a culvert down there.
My pipe I put in. There is no pipe across the road.
You've already seen this, right?
There.
Okay. Here she is, Miranda.
As you can see, it's a brook, but
There's a culvert down there, though.
Yeah, because he put it in.
I put that concrete pipe in from the
Yeah.
spring.
You want to have a look at it?
I made the ditch that goes where all the dark things at. I put the ditch all the way around, all the way down there and around.
But it's not working?
Oh yeah, it's running like crazy, but the town crew doesn't mow it anymore, so if I don't mow it, they don't do it.
You sure?
But you can see the water coming out of the pipe, see? And that's just a
Where's
spring.
that pipe go?
It just goes in under here against
here.
the bank, so I could fill this all in because there was nothing here before.
So there's sort of there should be a curved line along here, but they didn't put it in. So now we know that the state of Connecticut, it owns this piece of property, and so it's going to be up to them to fix it for us.
Right-of-way is?
Huh?
Do we know what the right-of-way
That
is?
was the picture in the folder. There was a map in the folder.
Okay. I have not
That's
had
okay.
any time to do anything other than work in carriage this week, so...
That's okay. So essentially the state owns from the center line all the way up until the tree line behind us, running parallel all the way out to along here up to the beyond the telephone poles a little bit. So where the culvert is down here, that's on state land.
And it's a state right away, so they own how much 25 feet they have.
Yeah, it's
from
on
the
the
center
map.
of the road. Say that again.
Yeah, it varies both sides of this road here, which way they go, so.
So we're going to have to get on their butts for this.
So I'll be
reading
reaching
how
out
much
to District 4.
Good.
I'm going to be reaching out next week and calling them to start navigating the conversation as to what we can do for drainage. And with the water and the amount of water that comes into the park from the road, and with the amount of flooding that's taking place, I'm going to be reaching out to them to start the conversation and discuss with them what we can do next steps.
Do you think we should send a letter from the state senator and the local rep?
Let me have the conversation first with District 4, and then if it goes nowhere, I think then our next steps would be to contact our state rep and our state senator as well.
Now all this water rushes down into the pool.
Japanese knotweed.
A lot of Japanese knotweed.
Yeah, it's a lovely invasive crop. I'd like to eat some of it.
So when I first started here years ago, decades ago, the weeds were as high as 6 feet where the parking lot is right now. So we worked on it, myself, Eddie, and a few others have worked on it over the years.
Oh, look at that.
You guys go ahead and don't worry about that.
Don't pass.
Beep, beep.
They don't fall down.
You could have rolled down, John.
Miranda, be careful, it's all wet here. And he just cut it.
So the water from the road is making this. Has this always been the problem, John? Because this has always been a wet area.
I've been here in October and December, and this is still wet. So obviously there's something somewhere.
So if this is always wet, it seems like it's more than just the road runoff.
Exactly.
Right, because it's sloping down, so
Don't
it's
forget
naturally drains
So
out.
the other thing that we have a problem with is that we're going to have to get a hold of
Aquarium.
water guy aquarium and find out where this line goes and have to test it. See where
Well,
it
it's
goes.
right
That's
here
right, we
where you're
talked about
seeing
that.
Yep.
Because if that has pipes to be a fountain, we discussed this at one point. The
Right.
Yep,
pipes
the
might
potential of
underneath
it
might be
being-
broken.
Yep.
And if they have been broken, then it's been going on for many, many years.
That could be
Shut off-
hypersaturated in all
shut
this.
off.
So what's feeding this all this water? Why is it?
There's a
Public water.
It's,
Yeah.
there's
That's
a
like public
spring
street.
right along there
Yeah.
too.
Are you on there? Yeah. Yeah, we're the last one on the line. Yeah.
And you can see it goes right into the playground.
Well, look, I built this up about 4 feet all the way around. It used to be even worse. This is a swamp.
Not a bad playground. There's some sharp edges, but not too bad. Can be taken care of.
What do you mean sharp edges?
Well, there's the plastic on the sides here and
Oh.
around.
I sprayed it with bleach and water a few times too last
Yeah, last year,
year
yeah.
before.
And I sanded what I had 4 years ago, so and looks like there's more to it. So there's about a lot of water underneath this thing. Unbelievable.
When is it? Do you know when the playground is built?
Don't remember off the top of my head. Lynn, do you remember when the playground was built?
I don't. It's been here.
Before 2008, because we started hanging here in 2008.
Yeah. There was an old swing set, and that's all we had.
Yep.
Okay.
And then
Right.
we added this.
Gotcha.
That should be. You should be able to find that.
Yeah, I can look up those records quick.
You can see how much water came down the other day when that storm hit early in the morning. It just washed away all this stuff. Hey, go for it.
Hello, hello.
And you can feel it, the squishiness underneath. So it's a big priority for us to get that done. Good, huh?
My husband Steve.
Yeah, I know, I know.
that's
Yeah.
back.
You got your good clothes on today, huh? Yeah. We'll do it real quick. We have a culvert here. Lasted
Hello,
for a while.
yeah.
Eddie, right? Ed, the culvert only lasted for a little bit of while. We diverted it over here.
Oh, I just ran that to find out where all the water was coming from, because there is a pipe under here with stone in it.
Four of them. There's one you can see there, and there's two up that way, and one
No
further
water
down.
comes out of any other
Yeah.
one, so.
Because it's bypassing.
Or,
Yeah.
Who knows? They're old. They'll probably just build up this stuff or crush.
Here's another one.
That's a spring, major spring right there.
You know, for this, is there there's an inflow? Is there an outflow? So there's constant.
There is. So
Does it recirculate though?
it doesn't recirculate. It flows in, flows out. There's
But-
supposed to be a flow valve over there that's closed, but it's rusted away so much that
Is
there's
it
a
always?
leak out.
But is it only flowing out when we drain it, or is it?
It right now it slowly drips out because of the pipe is rusted, and it's a little bit of a outflow at the moment. But if we open it, then there's constant inflow outflow. Yep.
So they crush this pipe that goes under here. Holds it back on the heavy rain. That goes right into the main stream. It's a good swampy area.
Oh look, a trillium. That's a big one.
Huh?
It's a really big trillium right there.
Oh, it's
pretty.
It's the biggest I've seen.
I know. I think that's the biggest I've seen too.
Wow.
There's more. Where did I see that? I think it's on the other side of the pool. Pond.
There's a decent amount on the trail.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. Melissa, it's a big old trillium right there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. We should iNaturalist all the property.
Yeah.
There's lots of spring ephemerals.
Oh, I bet there's a ton up the hill when I was out here yesterday. I did see a Jack in the Pulpit on up by the entrance. Yeah.
Here's the feeder line that feeds the pool. There's the water that comes in from the back there.
And where's the out pipe?
Right there, where I have the rope now so you can find it.
It's always covered.
So that runs like that
And
down
comes
the
out in
edge
a pool.
here.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
But that pipe is plugged.
So
So
we have to replace all this, right?
I don't know. I always think of just that one section.
probably that
I mean,
one section.
Which
Because
pipe
crushed.
do you say
Probably
is crushed?
depends
This
on
one is
No.
rest of
That
it.
one up there.
Once
in
you
the
dig
back.
in,
Yeah,
then
no,
the-
this feeder pipe's fine.
Fine, yeah.
Just needs a new screen put on it properly.
We won't go too far around because it's not cut.
So I did speak with both land use and Rick Osborne, and in our conversations, Rick has opened up the outflow for the pool slightly to allow water out so that it doesn't cause
but he did
major
fill this
flooding
up?
in the river downstream, so it doesn't flood
Right.
anybody's property. And he plugs up this end over here with an elbow,
No, we just
or
straighten it up.
you straighten it up. So there's no inflow at that point, and there's only outflow, and it takes a couple of days to outflow. So we're not
But usually a week.
surging the stream. So, and talking with land use, there's been no permits pulled, but since that's been what our
We
norm
never
has
did.
been,
We
we've
never
never
pulled
pulled permits on it, and it's been so little going out, it's something that's causing a major issue.
Just real quick down here, guys. I'll just show you one thing.
I'm surprised you didn't pull it up.
Oh, there's my toy. Well, don't worry about it because come summer, late summer, they're going to have 80 of those little babies.
So how many were in here? Because we found one belly up.
Well, there was usually about a dozen, but now they're down to about 2, I think.
Okay.
But they'll be fine. We'll have more. I mean, they usually get out somehow and they end up down by the getaway. So basically, this is the beaver trap right here, hut. So we're gonna have to pull that out of there eventually, but we have to get a permit from the state to do that. And then that would clear out that area. And that would open up this whole area back here where we can dig out and make it more clear around the edges. Get it nice and neat. And you can see the water just coming out from the swampy area. There's so many little pipes that run through this area. It's amazing. Okay.
Are we going backwards?
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice river birch that the beaver haven't gotten to.
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions at all? Okay.
Has this ever been used for anything? Like other than
No, the only thing I used it for was just to dredge out a little more garbage out of it, keep it clean. But no,
okay.
basically no, nothing. And this would be a great nature section right in through here.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
If you can stand the horse flies and the
And the
mosquitoes.
mosquitoes. The mosquitoes are bad, yeah.
Yeah.
And the horse flies are even worse.
That was a fun Emery Park activity.
Yep. Everybody thought you were
Running away
waving
from
all
them.
day.
You go to the left. That'd be great. And here's the crushed pipe right here.
Yep.
You know where it is. Somebody got through and didn't lock it properly and unfortunately. Have you got more chain?
I can definitely get some more.
Okay. I
This
don't know
is-
what the key for it is.
Yep.
But yeah, because right now anybody can get in there right now.
Gotcha.
You can go through there if you want. Look and have a look.
It was zip tied shut,
Don't jump.
but I will. I got it locked.
I mean, if you want to, but I'm gonna do
Just to show you what the pool looks like. This used to be a great place, but
Throw my friend Matt under.
How's it?
You gonna push me in?
I don't know.
Listen,
He swims. I don't know. If
I'll swim. I'll be good.
He can save me.
Somebody still have the padlock for the lock or not?
It was right there.
It's
All
on
you
it.
gotta do is adjust this back around a little.
Right.
close.
The
The
padlock.
gate will work fine.
yeah, but the lock, Eddie, the lock.
Yeah, he must have the lock.
It's on the other side.
No, the key.
Oh, who has
The town crew
once
guy
you lock
must
it?
have it. Jerry must have the key.
Because that was only basically the only way.
This is all gotta be scraped off.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
This is all
Except for
sin,
about here.
algae, and that's all
For about here, it's a
ragweed
little bit more sand and stuff like that.
and whatnot.
We can put the
This is a place
private
like-
school kids on this.
Water test. Then
Right.
the older kids could
The hinge is
see
almost
over
broken.
here.
The whole
My
thing's
little kid
rotted
could
out.
only go over there.
No, two.
You had to pass your
Bad
deep
down
water
at the
test to
bottom.
go. Because this is the.
This was put in the wrong place. It should have been up further, where there was more feet for people to slide into the water safely. It's only about 2 feet deep about that point, right? Yeah, about that. So it's not safe enough.
It was definitely deeper than 2 feet when we were here.
5,
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
definitely deeper than 2.
So I got a 4-foot mark in between, pretty much.
We have the funding for just the pool, correct?
We have $150,000 in capital for the pool at the moment. Yep.
You see over there where the rocks,
But we could
falling apart.
get one of the local pool contractors in just to give us some ideas.
Yeah.
You know, Good Hill maybe.
Good Hill. I know Leslie used a company in New Milford. I think that
Good
might be
Hill's
Good
local,
Hill.
and you
Yeah.
might as well just,
Yeah.
you know, we're not
I would try
spending
someone
any
else.
money. We're just like,
Getting
What's
ideas
that?
on it.
That's a couple.
we just need some ideas at this point of what we're talking about.
To do what?
Once it's drained, like we need to know what
Oh.
we're looking at. I mean,
There's a 6
You know.
or 8 inch crack in the bottom
Yep.
that Mike Gobble said he could fill.
right. And
It
then
really
I want to
doesn't
know.
look that terrible, to be honest with you.
No.
Last
No,
spring,
I
when I
mean-
pushed all the sand off and cleaned it all up, it wasn't in horrible. There were a few spots, but it wasn't horrible.
What year do we think it was redone? Do you remember? Have you found?
As
Because there was
far
a
as what goes.
there was a resurfacing.
There
Yeah, there were a
was.
bunch of different resurfaces, though.
I want to
That
say
used
like
to be a
right before
stone
we
laid
started
up
hanging out
wall.
here, though.
One was the most recent one, Ed, because I'm trying to recall off the top of my head which one. Was it?
10 years ago.
I think it was 10 years. I think it was
Yeah, 10 years. When I
2014,
first came on,
2015.
we worked on it.
So once we get some ideas of what we need to do with the pool and with fixing it up, we can definitely reach out to the engineer. The COG has a list of environmental engineers we can reach out to that offer a friendly rate to us since we are part of the COG. And then we can also explore other options too to get some quotes and see what we can do for an environmental engineer to come out and let us know if it's structurally sound and what we need to do as well so that we can reopen it.
When did he open? When did Rick open to release water?
The last time he opened was last spring.
Oh, I thought you said he started.
no, it's
Oh, no,
not
he hasn't
open
started
yet.
yet. Nope, I haven't asked him yet.
I thought
No,
you said that.
sorry, no. I talked to Rick about it. He hasn't opened it yet. So, but there is a small leak because it's rusted. The flap is rusted, so it kind of goes out.
Yeah, it's
It
just
is.
water
I think it's
coming
just
in
the-
through
yeah.
here. The pool. That's all that issue here. It's coming
That's a
through.
normal sound for.
25 years ago, Matt Hannon and I actually had a plan to redo this.
Well, that's
Put the
why I
pool
was saying
inside
call
the pool.
Goodhill, just
And
because
the
I
town
know
voted
he's
it
in.
down. They didn't want to spend
Yeah.
the money.
That's
Gotcha.
why I was saying he's Goodhill Pool.
Yeah.
What do you, when you say put a pool inside the pool?
We wanted
Just-
a full gunite pool inside of here, but it had to have a lot of gravel brought in because of all the springs underneath that come out. And we proposed it to here and one down at the Common Park, and the town decided they didn't want to spend the money.
But
And a lot of
like the same concept that it would be spread here?
If
Or-
they wanted one here, they wanted some ballpark figures for prices.
Yeah.
So we gave them a price for doing this and a price for one down at the Common Park.
But pool as in like, but still fed by the same.
No, a
Like a chlorinated?
regular chlorinated pool.
Okay.
Well, Matt figured out a way to have a better system. You want to explain that?
There's a couple different ways. There's the natural swimming pool route, which has a biofilter attached and has spring water fed in. That one is something that I'm looking into regulations with the state at the moment. And then you can have a chlorine pump with water pumping in, have a chlorine pump in water, and then have discharge with a discharge permit to ensure that it can be discharged, and that you have to apply through the state to achieve. The town in New Canaan does that with their man-made pond that they have. So it's a sand base. It's about 12 feet deep in the center. It's probably quadruple the size of this pond, if not much bigger. And they have chlorine pumped in. They have water pumped in from a stream. It's chlorinated going in, and then it's fed out with low chlorine level back into the stream.
What year did you say that Matt Hannon came over and you worked with him on that?
25 or 30 years ago,
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay.
at least.
And technology has improved.
Better.
It
even.
has improved, yeah.
The problem with the water, the only problem here is that for many years in late August, that dropped to a level where there was no water running in here at all for weeks on end.
Gotcha.
We used to have a damming system back there, but it cracked open and nobody bothered to fix it.
Right, yeah, I mean, if you need to spend, if you're going to go with your water system for this, you're going to have to figure out definitely to upgrade that back there so you don't lose your water
Right.
levels.
I know it was denied in the 80s for a dam to be rebuilt, or another dam to be built back there. So
Well,
we
it
can
was
definitely
just
look
one
into
that
it.
had collapsed.
What year did the water system, the ponds get?
Oh, it's been filling in over the years bad.
No, for the to produce the town water.
Oh, up,
ponds.
up
Yeah,
the
when
reservoir?
was that?
2020 or 2021. I mean,
So that was happening at the same
2001,
time, and that
excuse
has to
Yep.
do with that. So it's not.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a different
Okay.
story.
Different story?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
that's the
Cool. Gotcha.
How often do, like if it was just as it is, how often do we have to test the water?
Weekly.
Weekly.
Yep.
Okay.
So Torrington Area Health Department would come out and test the water and sample it.
So, if we run out of water here and it's sitting stagnant here, then late summer we could be testing.
I don't remember
We have
ever
an
having
area,
the water close down like
Right,
it
well,
does
we've been
in
lucky with that
Warmog
years,
and things
right.
like that. I don't ever remember where Warmog would close at the state park. We didn't have that for whatever reason, and she was testing.
We had a huge 4-foot aerator. We had it running
Yep.
all day.
So
all
that's
day
that's
long.
really
Right.
helpful.
That
Yeah.
would make
Smaller
a
space with the aerator, that'll definitely
And the
assist
kids
with it.
loved that because like,
God
it's
knows
just
what
another water feature.
Yeah. And I do have a brand new unused aerator in the office, so yes, thank you, Lynn, for getting that. So that can be utilized when we reopen the pond.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Just like a fish
Yeah,
tank.
you have to.
Yeah.
It stays out during the day though. It goes in at night.
Right.
Yep.
Sometimes she would put it in just for extra water feature.
So you do it later. If you wanted to go and count for your Any questions here?
Is that electrical still work? Do we know?
It's
It-
installed.
Does.
Whether it's turned on.
Whether it's turned on or not, no, it's not turned on up at the box.
What
So.
do we use it for? Do we know what we use?
The aerator and
Oh, the
things like
aerator.
that.
Yeah, the aerator was plugged into it, so it has the GCFI components to it.
Too, like to get the rest of the water out, right? It didn't all naturally flow out. When I feel like there was a pump that pumped out when he had to.
Probably, because that probably doesn't go all the way down to the
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
there is a
there
little
would
bit
be
of a
the
pump that
would
has
have
it.
to plug into there to get the rest of the water out to drain dry. There would be music and stuff too. I mean, it was camp. It was not.
Yeah.
Still got the tag on it. instructions.
Oh, do you?
Wait, Lynn, you know an electrician? No way. I had no idea that you'd know an electrician.
Recording the meeting, Lynn.
So gang, we share the park with a whole bunch of different animals. This morning and this afternoon there was a lot of bears leaving their mark behind them. So, a couple over that way. And we also have, right now we have carpenter bees, which I'll show you later. And then of course the mice made a home up there. And then snakes, the garter snakes, go after the mice.
And I brush hogged this whole bank. We couldn't even see the brook.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep. A lot of trees fell in the stream. This was replaced about 5 years ago.
Lunch bunch would be here. I don't know if you
This
go to
would be a
lunch
great
bunch
area.
from the library. They would come here.
This is a perfect area, you know? Yeah, do something here.
You know, like when it was open and when the camp happened, that was part of the camp program.
So like a pavilion right here would be
I mean, the kids love those tiny little things that I can
Right, yeah.
Oh yeah, they do.
I mean, it's got more potential to it than anything. Where's the bridge? Down here. You guys are going to be so shocked. The picnic tables I refurbished. One of them, as you'll see, it was the kids threw it in the pool years ago, so they need to be
really
replenished.
bad. No, you can get the private schools do like days of service where they're always, I mean, they do it for the land trust too. Like
Tomorrow.
Oh, Jesus, we missed it. We missed it. We definitely missed it.
But that was what I was asking about, Miranda, for insurance in the town.
Oh yeah.
Like, I know what KLC insurance.
So I spoke with so touch on that quick.
Yeah.
I spoke with Joyce who
Does
from who does Kerma, and she said that we're covered and the volunteers are covered, so we're set as long as we just plan to work with volunteers and coordinate. And no chainsaws, no crazy power tools, just basic volunteer work.
Okay.
Yep.
This is one of the oldest trees in the park, and it's been treated for every 3 years, right? Is it
Every 3 years. Yep.
Yeah.
So this is a year that it'll be treated.
pretty cool, huh? It's as old as the park. It's amazing. The tapula trees are choked out by the invasive vine and poison ivy. Well, they'll probably be coming down. So. Of course, the driveway is not in the best shape either. It's all just patchwork that they do. A lot of that water just runs down the hill, goes right into the river.
So could we ever have that be the main driveway and this be the main parking to make it a little easier?
You're talking about some of the people that want to do hiking, they could park down here.
But also like
ADA compliance.
ADA compliance, but also just a mom with a stroller and a toddler, like
Yeah, we could do
that
that.
could be a little treacherous. I feel like this being the main parking lot makes a whole lot of sense, and kind of doing whatever we have to do with drainage up there, renaturalizing up there. You know.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Are we? I mean, there's no ADA access to the pool.
No, but it's certainly a less slopey.
No, totally.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know
Treacherous.
if we want to think about trying for that, but
Yeah, we definitely
think we-
can.
yeah.
Yeah.
Have
I mean,
to.
if
Yeah.
we're gonna redo, the
I think
park,
we
yeah.
have to.
We-
We're thinking of some kind of bathroom situation eventually. We're thinking ADA.
For the
It
pool.
used to be in the plan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean,
We had a capital plan all approved and the money to put 2 bathrooms right here.
Yeah.
And then they decided they didn't want them after they waited 5 years to do it.
I mean, if
Gotcha.
we're making this a really great place, and putting a pavilion and things like that, we're putting some kind of bathroom facilities,
Oh yeah, we're gonna
a
have
better
to.
parking lot. If money is no issue, we.
If money is no issue, I've got plenty of plans.
Yeah.
aquarium comes by through here, and they cut all this grass down and all the weeds and all the other stuff. We usually do it late May, early June. We cut it at least twice a year. So, and it goes from the top up there, up on top of Cedar Mountain, all the way down to here. They cut it. So. Okay, this is a dirt bridge. It's been washed out quite a few times.
Do we have a sign that says no vehicles? Or can vehicles drive?
We can definitely get one for this.
I think the
Yeah.
road's gonna change and the no vehicles.
Would probably be the best bet because people have come back here and
For sure.
blown donuts and
Yeah.
set off fireworks.
Oh, jeez.
Do you have money in the budget this year to get that?
I will definitely I'll reevaluate, but I think I might have some extra funds
Listen, right
available
now.
to get it. Yeah.
The maintenance line still has a lot of money in
Still
it.
has a lot of money, so it's
And
going to
you have
be,
till the end of June.
yep. So that'll include paying for Ed Madsen's work and then looking at everything else. So, yep, so you should be able to.
You know, and you want to use
The town
that
probably
because
has a gate because they
Yeah.
ordered one for the North Kent Ed. Casper.
Yep, I'll talk to her.
you want to use that money as much as you can because you don't want them to look at it next year and say,
Right.
well, you know, they didn't need it, so
Yeah, why give it to them again?
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
Spend it now.
yeah.
Absolutely, so that will be spent.
Oh, he didn't even cut the grass. What the? Unbelievable. So the map that I have that we did on the smaller hiking is down there and through the woods. It's a small trail that would go up and around.
That's the trail that I built.
Yeah. So we it wouldn't be that difficult to fix.
In that grand scheme, I would love to see this be a Boy Scout, Girl Scout camping.
But the only thing is you can't do it overnight.
Why?
Why?
That was the law they had.
I'm gonna.
Written in the
Who's-
deed.
It's in the deed?
No overnight camping.
I think it was
I'm not
park
sure.
had to close at sunset.
Right.
But
I've reviewed that. I didn't see it, so we'll have
Yeah,
to
I
check.
don't remember seeing that in the deed. I just recall the deed stating it has
I
to be
mean, what a
recreation
nice
activity,
thing
but
if we could get the scouts to be volunteer maintaining and then offer them a
camping
Freebie.
site.
one night camp,
no, I agree.
Yeah.
family camp,
I
because
would
it would
just
be.
break the rule.
Well, the sign says close at dusk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, but I don't think
But-
it's in the deed. I think that's just
Yeah.
a park and rec.
I'll
like,
double check
rules,
it.
bylaws, something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a park rule.
Yeah.
So park
But
rules
I
can
feel
change.
Like we could, I mean, you know, we have a very good scout presence in our town that could benefit from this as a family camp site.
So this one is the trail to work on as well as the other one. So this will be a good one for the little kids.
Yeah, that'd be a great trail.
That's the trail. There's a trail grant for that. So that usually comes around in April to really get the advantage on that. Is just send it in January and February. The deadline is in April. And it's good money. This year was like, it started at $100,000 you could get it. So there's good money there for it. And I'm sure there's other trails, trail money elsewhere. Does anybody want to go down that way? Sure. Go ahead.
So talking about the trails, Rufus Durham and I yesterday went up
Oh, did you guys?
the Blue Trail and we did a lot of tree trimming for the trees that were down on the ground, causing a lot of obstruction for hiking. So there's only about 4 trees that we have to finish up with, but we did a good amount. So
That's great.
yeah, so the Blue Trail is mostly cleared. We're gonna work on the Yellow Trail soon, so that'll be done. But it was everything on the ground, which is nice. So
That's great.
no more hurdles.
No more hurdles?
No more hurdles and not a lot of ducking.
Oh,
Especially when you go up that last little slope, you don't have to duck under the tree anymore.
yeah.
So there's just one that's bent over.
And and I think you said you're going to put the stickers up on the...
Yes, I bought trail markers. So new trail markers are coming in, the reflective arrows.
Ooh, you went big
I
bucks.
did,
Those are
so,
expensive.
They weren't too bad with the
Big spender.
money, with the
But the
price they're
reflective
at.
ones
So
are expensive.
they're going to be put up on the trails and will be looking nice.
Awesome.
Go ahead, guys. Go ahead. Go ahead. I've been here a lot before.
stay over here.
This would make a great
Are we
cricket
doing the
field.
hotel or are we just? How far are we going, John? We're not doing
Well,
the whole
do
trail.
as far as you want to go, and then.
Yeah, I don't think we should do the whole trail tonight.
Yeah. So there is a sign box at the entrance of the trail that would be nice to put stuff in, especially with, like looking at the land trust, what you guys do for all of your kiosks.
Yep.
So it'd be
Yeah.
nice to do something
So
other than
Mike
park and
Van
rec.
Valkenburg builds our kiosks, and he would definitely do the matching.
You could, at
Perfect.
the end
He's the
here,
one
you
that
could
did
actually
the
make
tr-
a little
the
bridge
things
to
up
go
in the
into the
parking
pond.
Ooh, awesome.
Yeah.
You could actually make a little bridge to go into the pond area.
Yeah.
Which would be cool.
Yeah, it would be nice.
It's a lot of potential.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Another way that way.
That would be a great scout project.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Anything.
Oh, absolutely would be.
You guys go ahead and don't worry about it. I'm surprised the tree has lasted so long.
Where are we going, John?
Right up to the shed.
Okay.
No, Lynn, I thought I was going to hike with you tonight. We're going to make you a different idea. You didn't see that. I took the pinnacle with you a couple years ago. You should hike. You haven't been to the pinnacle with me. Why? But it was warm. You remember? Yeah.
Is he doing a presentation? Where's the computer?
We were having family day one year
I told him about it.
of the storm.
I told him about it. That was scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, so grounding this place would be a very wise decision. We might
Yeah,
look into
that was.
Well, nothing happened so far, knock on wood.
That's my
No,
bonus report.
That was a storm though.
We were there when Tobias he got struck
really?
by lightning. He was standing right
Oh, that's
here,
right. Yeah, I
lighting
remember,
it.
yeah.
You were there, I think.
Yeah, it was. So this is it. This is the center here. Over here on the left-hand side beyond that wall is the refrigerator and everything else, and on the right is all the supplies, the chairs and stuff like that.
But those are also changing rooms
Yeah,
that they're supposed to be.
basically.
Or another
So we did.
storage unit.
So I did a lot of work here. I cleaned it all up and everything like that. I got rid of the smell from the mice and the snakes. So it's not too bad. If you guys want to work here,
Snake pee, is that like a thing?
Huh?
Snake stink?
yeah. No, so I mean, if you guys want to work here, it's perfect for you guys to come here. We'll give you the code number. Is that all right? We'll give
Probably
you.
not on the video.
This is being recorded.
No, I'm going to do
It's a good idea to share with the town folks.
So you can grab some of those pamphlets if you want.
2017.
Yeah. Just seems like yesterday.
So, John, just to discuss what we really want to outline as our goals,
Sure,
should we
go
just jump into that?
Yeah, because we haven't been charged with anything correctly, right?
You got it's the goals were to work on reopening Emery Park pool, trails, and pretty much the plan for the
So
park.
everything.
So everything.
Okay. All right. Good.
Yep. So the charge was to start planning.
So that's
and
fine. Yeah.
assist
I
with
mean-
planning for this.
So you guys all have the special abilities. Everybody here has them, and we can use that as a group and get it done a lot faster. So, but one of the other things that we were talking about earlier this week was the fact that we need more money to go ahead, and we could use 2 people to try and get those money, search it out, stuff like that. So, but it's going to be a great place if we can get it done within 3 years.
I think we can get it done sooner than that.
Okay.
I'm confident that we can get it done much sooner than that. Goal is 2, but we can always see what we can do. Funding, I think that right now we need to come up with a plan before we get funding, because we can't just willy-nilly apply for things and just say this is our concept, but then all of a sudden we totally shift gears because we find out more information on something and we have to change our plan. And when a grant application is already submitted and it might be past deadline, we might not be able to modify our application. So I think it might be wise for us to solidify our plan, and then we can start looking at grant funding and other opportunities, and then make sure that we go through the commission for approval for everything. Because the subcommittee, we plan everything, we can make everything happen, but we also need commission approval before we move forward with anything.
Anybody have any more questions?
I'd like to know before our next meeting, like how far that money that's already in the 5-year capital plan would go towards his pool. Like, I do think that we need to have someone, a pool specialist, out to give us a good idea of how far that money can go. Because the Board of Finance wants us to spend that money.
Yep.
They made you come up with a justification of why it's still there. So that needs to be spent.
Yep.
And
Well, it was
I don't think any of us know how far that money will go to
no,
fixing this
not
pool.
until
I
we-
don't
not
have
in-
that specialty. No one in this commission really does.
Well, we can search out.
Yeah.
Just the 2 of us, or you want to have somebody else?
I actually don't mind taking that charge. I can
Okay.
definitely look into having the aquatics background and
Sure.
pools background. I can definitely look into getting someone out here to look at the pools. So
Great. Okay.
that I will take that charge. So
Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome.
I hear what you said, but the idea that Matt Hannon has already been out here says to me, like, he should probably be contacted.
He's an aquatic guy, so he knows.
No, but Ed has brought Matt in here, so,
Yeah.
not Matt Bosey, Matt Hannon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I didn't know that. That's good. There's some pamphlets back there you guys should take for give you some ideas for the parks, the trail parks, and everything else. So, like I said, you could use this building. Use it anytime you want to get away from the kids if you wanted to. But
Did you say that the trail markers are already in?
Trail markers will be here Monday.
So maybe we organize a youth volunteer scout group to get them involved to
Yeah.
actually install the trail markers for you?
Sounds
With
good.
you?
Yeah.
good.
I mean, we did that up in one of our trails, and so the scouts should be pretty good at now knowing how to do it and not to hammer the nails in too far and all that. Because you leave the nails out
Yeah, you leave
for
it
the
out.
trails, for the tree to grow.
Yep.
And I just think it would be great to engage some of the younger kids in this program.
Yeah, I agree 100% on that. I think let Rufus and I finish up the tree work first, just so that nobody's
Yes.
That's fine.
crawling over hurdles.
Give me a
So-
shout and I can organize it once you're done with that part.
Perfect, thank you, Melissa.
This may not be the place in the meeting to talk about it, but since we're talking about the trail itself, is there a thought on what to do with the trees that are overgrown at the viewpoint?
Yes, so we can give them a haircut per se.
A haircut kills them, so.
Yeah.
Is it in a, is
So-
it in the view shed though? Like,
It's
like
in
the
so
horizon line?
it's in the horizon
Yeah, so
line.
you have to talk to Ty and
We have
it has to
to,
go for the.
so what we have to do is you have to just let planning and zoning know that we're gonna be doing the work in the horizon line, because with Park and Rec, we are exempt, as being a town department, we are exempt from those policies. However, it's best to let people know. So I think that if we have a plan, we just have the conversation with planning and zoning first, and then go ahead and move
Yeah.
forward with it.
I would say there's probably only about 2 years left before the view is completely gone.
Yeah, it's definitely, going up there yesterday, seeing how heavily wooded it is, that'll definitely
Yeah.
take it 2 years.
And the other one is completely gone already.
Yep, that one's completely gone, so you have no viewpoint looking out west.
If that bridge was strong enough, we could have the lumber guys come in and take whatever they wanted to.
There's nothing really that big up there. It's all new growth.
Oh, is it new growth?
Yeah, it could probably be handled with just hand tools, most of it.
Yeah, it's definitely a younger forest up there.
And you present it as maintenance rather than tree clearing. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's what you're doing. You're
Yeah,
basically-
there's definitely nothing greater than
No,
20,
'Cause there's a pretty
24
big
inches
area
at
cleared.
Brushlight.
What's the algorithm?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, there's nothing, it's all small.
Yeah.
Between 4 inches tops.
Yeah.
I think going back to the pool, when, you know, if we get somebody to look at it and we get a cost estimate for doing the work, because we're gonna have to sell it to the commission.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be good to have like a comparison to like say, you know, chlorinated pool, this is how much that would cost you. Just because I think there's, you know, you hear people in town saying we want a pool, we want a chlorinated pool. I think we're gonna have to sell this, and I'm not going one way or the other on it, I just think we have to have our bases covered, so we can say this is why we think we're gonna go this way, or we're recommending.
And you have to
There might be a
justify-
2-year plan and like a 6-year plan though, where we put some money into the 5-year capital plan for chlorination, but we get the pool open, natural with the stuff that
Right.
is already
Right. Yeah.
And I think that,
come up.
and I think in the
Right.
previous surveys they had, it was like they didn't want chlorinated. So, I mean, next thing to do is probably send out another survey.
Well, we have the results from the
We do have the
last
results from
one,
the survey.
and I feel like the last time I read through it, there were some that were, you know, like, yes, natural pool, and there were others that were like, you know, chlorinated pool,
Yeah.
so.
I can definitely look into both concepts, so the chlorinated pool concept and the natural pool concept, to see what might be most cost effective, and I'll present it.
Yeah.
The bio pool that you mentioned earlier, is that like a semi-chlorinated? What is
Nope,
bio?
it uses a biofilter. So I don't recall exactly what the compromisation of the filter is, but it has inflow, outflow, it has a stronger inflow because of more aeration to it, so it does kill the bacteria, and then in the pool itself it does have plant life, so that would outcompete with bacteria and the algae, so that it would help purify the water and keep it clean and low bacteria levels.
Because I hear what Miranda's saying, but I'm not sure that
Yeah.
people even know what the options are.
Yeah.
You
Natural
know, like
swimming-
I wouldn't have a clue until you said those terms, what my options were, and I still don't know if we know all the options.
Yeah, no, there's definitely more options out there. So that was one that I was peeking around at a while ago, just not even working here, but just in aquatics in general. And there's a company out in Maine that does it. There's a few companies that work specifically in Connecticut already. Newtown has an actual swimming pool, and I believe someone's either private residence or a private club. Fairfield has one. Someone's private residence in North Haven has one. So
You
it's
said New Canaan?
no,
Canaan,
Newtown,
Fairfield,
Fairfield, and North Haven.
The pond, Canaan has a
New
pond.
Canaan has a pond. It's
Like
a
similar to this, but.
similar to this. It's
But
a
bigger.
Canaan has
Bigger.
a huge.
There's one in-
Okay, okay.
It's really cool.
yeah. New Canaan has a pond and a pool that are public. Yep.
I know like the bio ones with the plant life, I was looking at that a little bit, and a super cool concept, and it's beautiful because you have all these plants like growing along the outside. I was reading that like the areas that you have the plants have to be like much larger footprint than the actual pool, so I don't know if that's gonna limit our.
I'd love to see, can you, in
Yeah.
the next meeting, put some of those links into the folder so that
Yeah,
we can
definitely.
like poke in? Cause that's
Would that also?
I mean, I would
Yeah.
see how like
Yeah.
that could sway those that are saying chlorinated
Yeah.
to like, wow, that's a beautiful place to like bring my kids to swim and like to be, I mean, we live
Yeah.
here for a reason.
Right.
We don't need to have like this square blue
Right.
pool
And
and
we already have those.
So the nice thing is with the natural swimming pools, it does bring in that modern aesthetic, but also has that natural aesthetic as well. So it's a combo of both, and it does meet that middle ground of what people want. So we're not just having that
Love it.
chlorinated, pristine,
yeah.
sterilized environment. We're having something that's more natural, that allows more flow, it fits in with the environment better, so it doesn't stand out like a Rothon essentially. So
Would that have to include like a bog area? 'Cause I know some of those have bog areas
Some
that
do.
they use to filter.
Yeah, I don't know if you would, I don't know if you call it a bog, it's like a kind of
extra
an outer perimeter of like a planting area, and then there's like the pool area, and then there's like the filter area with all the plants.
Are there specific plants for that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know off the top of my head, but yeah, like specific water
Yeah.
plants.
Yep.
Yeah.
there's
Native,
specific water.
native.
There's a place
My
out in
pollinators have my
Brookfield
hat on,
that
says native.
So there's a place out in Brookfield that will do the biofilter, the filter cartridge itself when it comes in through the inflow, they'll replace it. So there's a close business that would be able to do those kinds of things instead of having to outsource far, which is really, really
I look
convenient.
forward to seeing those pictures. Thanks for doing the research.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Both of you.
I just poked around for like 5 minutes, but it was.
No, that was good. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
no,
perfect.
I think that's what I envision here as the next step. I mean, this was great for a while. Now we need to move into the next modern, but still in keeping with Kent.
Something like that would that get rid of the sides of the pool?
It would get rid of the sides of the pool, or you
Right,
can
one
have
of those
physical
concrete,
structure with
yeah.
the sides.
Yeah.
So it depends on what the architect and the engineers come up with for design, but definitely different possibilities.
I've seen some really beautiful.
Yeah, there's a company out in Kansas that does a whole bunch. They've been all over. They've been to Illinois, Indiana. They're doing Kansas, some places out here as well. They do splash pads. They do pools. So they do recreation pools, just pools around condos and stuff like that. So and other structures. So that are swimming and non-swimming.
Between that idea and moving the parking over here, I think we've got like some really good plans.
I think
I'm
so too.
excited.
So I think our top 3 goals right now is pool, trails, and parking.
It's like a tiny little picture, but.
Is there any
That
thought
bridge,
on
I would
the-
wonder about that bridge, somebody trying to get it over there.
I can imagine your kids like.
Oh, no.
Is there any thought on the
It's a
playground?
clear area.
We'd have to get that drained out perfectly before we can use it.
Yeah,
Or we
we
could
have
do
to figure out
corridors.
the property over
Right,
there.
exactly. And the
And
other thing
that's
is,
like it's happening parallel. You
Yeah.
know, Matt's working on that parallel so that, yes, maybe we can address that when,
Yeah.
Yeah.
at the same time.
I
Like,
mean, we could have another playground down below here.
I don't know if you wanna maintain 2 playgrounds, right?
Well, I mean, you could take some of that out of there if you had to.
I mean, I just don't, I can't picture what the topography of this property is going to look like if we were to put that in there, and so it might have to move.
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
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 it
so-
moves.
yeah.
I'm just saying 2 separate.
Yeah, no, I think
Unless
one.
you did like a big kid and a pond.
I think we're
And you
one
got
playground,
parents.
one
Right,
pavilion.
Yeah.
And a pool in the middle, so the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, one thing, depending on when that was built,
What's that?
the playground,
Okay.
I don't, it just depends. I mean, it's still in decent condition. I will say, like, once the playground gets to be like 25,
Then you have to watch that.
well, it's hard to replace the parts because you can't.
Yeah.
A lot of the parts are discontinued or whatever, so then you end up having to like.
My feeling is that if we are really making this a central hub, that you're putting that in the next 5-year ask. And so we're coming to asking for a couple of different projects, but that hopefully can bridge the gap until that.
So we do have $100,000 in capital for the
Right.
playground right now. So we do choose to use it for the playground specifically, I know that's one thing it was earmarked for, we can, but if we're finding that in discussion, conversation, we might want to reallocate that for something else.
That's good.
And we asked for that.
I mean, I think that all comes out when we know what the pool is ever gonna cost.
Yeah.
Like if we need
Yeah.
the 250, then
We might
I
need
think
that.
that's a no-brainer that people would be totally in on that.
Yeah,
I don't see much convincing at all.
Yeah, that's not a big change too.
No.
It's still staying in the same park, it's staying with the same thing.
yep,
And it's giving us this awesome pool that people are gonna really like. I mean, once you
Yeah.
see that,
Mhm.
yeah, I'll share some links in the folder so that you guys can view them.
that's
in
what
addition to
thinking
the-
that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
The only thing I wonder about is like, you know, if we did something like that, the maintenance of like the plants, like, what does that look like?
Get the garden club involved.
I mean, that would bring a whole nother group of people into this park, like, you know,
Yeah.
people who are just, you know, if you're into planting and your kids are running around, you can be messing with gardens, but also, like she said, the garden club, it would rejuvenate the people that are participating in the garden club.
And there's also times when, even when we had the camp here, there was nobody in the pool, and the camp kids were doing something else,
Right.
so the lifeguards could do stuff.
Yep, they can do maintenance.
Like maintenance, you know, they can stay around the pool and do some weeding or whatever.
So-
I do think that it does, you're right,
You're
there
back
will need to
already?
be a professional that is doing a circuit, but.
Yeah.
The smartest one for planting is Nick down at the greenhouse. He knows everything about everything. Please. He's the best guy for that, so. You gonna hang from the rafters?
It's nice in here.
Is it? I had it cleaned up really good.
Alright.
Oh, what's happening in here?
Creepier.
What's happening in here?
How far did you go up?
So the big four right now are
Good
gonna
job.
be pool, parking,
Wow.
trails, and drainage.
Yes.
Alright, cool.
Drainage number one.
I would say drainage and pool are
Number
kind of happening in parallel.
Yep.
But we gotta get the water stopped.
Yeah, start getting that drained.
Yeah, first.
Cool.
Can you do that, Ed, or we have to ask Ricky
To do what?
to start draining the pool?
No, it'll be right. Gotta do it
He's
slowly.
got the,
Ricky's got the stuff.
I can
Yeah.
pull the thing up.
Rick's gonna take care of it.
Yeah,
Once we
Rick
give him
already-
the green light, he's good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just so busy.
Yeah, I know.
I'll stop the water from coming in, I'll come back down with the rake and pull it up, so it doesn't keep coming in, because last year he said he was gonna do that, and he sent something down and it pulled the whole pipe off, and it all filled up with the leaves and the dirt.
Plus Eddie has money, or we have money to spend with Eddie.
No, I don't care.
So we,
I'll
John,
stay on
or
that for
Ed and
now.
I can converse
Right,
about
that's
that.
fine.
Yeah. So,
And you've got, the only other thing you have to think about is you're gonna get people stand up and say, the pool is only used 7 weeks out of the year. Does this justify spending this amount of money? And that's what we went through 23 years ago. And then people stood up and said, school doesn't get out till the end of June, and they're back in school the last week in August. Why are we gonna spend this amount of money? And that's when they started all voting all this stuff down.
But there's also this a huge group that like wants a place to swim.
No, you're right.
All ages,
Yeah,
there's a
all
large group
ages.
of people that, I would say it's all ages too,
I
and
agree
they're
100%.
not gonna use a splash pad.
No, yeah,
The
I
majority
agree.
of those people
I
are
agree.
not into a splash
Well,
pad.
I can vouch for that.
Yeah, I mean,
Even with a little one that would use the splash pad, it's not on my priority list.
no,
I
it's not
agree.
gonna teach the kids how to swim.
Well, you have to
It's not
remember,
gonna-
back then, we were in the middle of the two places, because the tennis court was totally falling apart
I think we're in a
before they
different place now,
resurfaced
yeah.
it. So we talked about putting a pool there, so it would cover the affordable housing, it would
Right.
cover the elderly people, but then they spent all the money redoing the tennis court, so. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of went out the window completely.
Yeah, I would say moving the parking down here helps with the elderly too, and the younger families, not having to go down that slope is huge.
Getting the things to put in that road, to close up the road. Is that?
oh, signage, yes.
No,
Signage,
the
put that down.
The gate,
A
some
gate
sort
or
of, something to
a
block
chain
it.
or something.
Well, there was a chain there. I don't know if it's still there. Double check. It might be in the bushes up there.
Let's take a look.
I'm ready for a motion to adjourn. Would you take that motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you guys.
If you, anybody want to